Hello there, welcome to another talk, another meditation, another podcast. Don't know what else you could call it. I suppose some might call it a radio show, but it's not an official, it's not actually a radio show, but because I'm in a radio show, you might just hear the words. But all my talks are on my website at www.lovelifefamily.com. My talks and stuff are always at the top of the homepage, and also I've got a videos page at the top of the video page also. And I've got a videos and news page also. Other videos sometimes I post there also. But yeah, at the top of the homepage, that's where the new talk is, and the top of the videos page. So, but this talk is called Soul Switch / Soul Walking. This is a very interesting subject. I'm guessing maybe a few months ago, I came across a website on the internet, and it was saying that are people that have had spiritual awakenings, have they had a soul switch, meaning a higher evolved soul came down and went in their body, and then the other person go to like heaven or the spirit world. Well, in my awakening, that's how it felt originally. You know, in my awakening, everything changed all of a sudden. All of a sudden, everything changed. I had enough. Now, I used to have a theory that if everything changed, I felt different. And I had this theory, I thought, well, if a soul came in and I was taken away, the old person, then all of a sudden you'd feel different because it's a different soul, but that new soul would also take on all the memories and everything, so it would be you, so it would be like it's never moved. But now I know that didn't happen, because as I've went through my path, I've came to understand that that's not the case at all. That what happened was, and this is my new take on it, and my new view on it, which I've had for quite some time now, is that in the awakening, obviously, you got the 144,000 that are meant to have the spiritual awakenings. They were chosen to do so. It's the 144,000. And so, basically, when you awaken, what's happening is you're aligning with higher parts of yourself. And you also get a thing called soul walk-ins. And that's when you go through your awakening and higher beings, entities, energies, if you will, are going into your soul, and helping you through the process. So it's like two people in the same body. But in actual fact, it's not actually two, it's actually one, because in this awakening I've realized that there is no two, there is no separation. So what's happened in the awakening, you're aligning with the higher self, and these higher beings are part of your higher self. You see, a lot of people won't understand that, because they'll say, well, how can that be? How can you be one if there's all these different souls? Well, it's all part of one. Everything comes from the one source, you see. So when you experience the soul walking, which are these higher beings supposed to be coming into you and taking you through the awakening, you're interacting with yourself. You're interacting with the true self, the true I, which is the eternal I. Right? And so basically that's what you're going through, and like James Van Praagh says, that in life it's only a little part of our soul, and in awakening you're interacting with higher parts of your soul. You've got to align with these higher parts of your soul, and that's ultimately what's happening in spiritual awakening and the spiritual awakening process. You're just aligning with higher parts of yourself, and in this you go through DNA activation, and that's why you're hearing a lot just now. You're hearing a lot of DNA manipulation with with the mark. I can't say anything else. And obviously, because it's obviously to stop ascension, to stop awakening, this kind of stuff. So if you get in the way of the DNA of the human, then they think they can stop it, but you can't, because the awakening is meant. It's God's law, if you will. It's all to do with the source of all life, the one creator, which is ultimately you. But you're in a separate experience, but it's actually you. The two is one. But yeah, that's what's happening in the awakening. See, when I had the awakening, big awakening, all of a sudden. I get new awakenings all the time now, but one big awakening to start it off. And I went through a rebirth experience where I was getting information downloads, like thought forms, telling me what was going on. I was being, not hearing voices, but thought forms. The information was saying that I was at the stage before I was born, and I was being reborn, and the energy was peaking, life force energy. And basically how it feels is on this journey, like it feels now, like my energies are really up now, diet is great now, and it feels like I'm going back to that. So what I believe what happened was, I was shown in that rebirth, this is what you are at your core, Sean, but you've got to do a lot of healing to get back to that. So it was a little glimpse for like 2 weeks. I felt like an angel. That's how I felt. I felt like an angel. Now, if that thing that I went through, I believe that might be just a theory. Maybe that's what people go through when they die. This angelic feeling, like you're not physical anymore, like you're flying almost. And I talk about rebirth on my my website as well. But yeah, that's what's happening. You go through the awakening, and then what's happening, higher evolved souls. I've even had pictures. If you go into one of my older videos, Who's This in My Picture on YouTube, there's a video there of a picture I took. I didn't mean to take the picture, and you can see the man with a moustache. And I put it online, and one woman said he looks Chinese. But it is interesting, because on the internet I've been getting into Chinese philosophy. So, and I also, my mum took a picture by accident a few years ago, and there was a being in the picture with big eyes. So this is not the first time. So I believe in the awakening. That didn't start to happen until the awakening. And so I wasn't, my mum's a psychic and mediumship and all that. I wasn't like gifted like that, but once I had the awakening, then I gained the gift of like healing. Everyone that has an awakening, spiritual awakening, develops some form of gift. I think that I became more creative regarding music. I'm not saying I'm a better songwriter, but I think I'm a lot more creative now as a person. But the healing thing, that was what I developed. And I believe the reason that is because these souls, they are walking into your being, right? I believe it's like walking into you, soul walk-ins, walking into your body. That's how I perceive it, and they're guiding you through the process. Now, if you go on the internet, there's other people that talk about soul walking. It's not just myself, and that's what I believe is going on. But actually, what the deeper truth to it is, it's actually not a separate being that's entering you. It's actually, like I said earlier in the talk, it's just the higher version of yourself. You see, before we awaken, we perceive the world to be all separate. But when you start to awaken, you start to see it for what it really is. It's actually one thing. So the beings that are coming into you are merely just higher versions of yourself that are helping you align with the oneness, with the law of one, which is law of one is all about the oneness. And the law of one comes from a lot of stuff on the god Ra on that. And the Galactic Federation of Light is a group of beings in space, obviously. We're in space, middle of space. And That the people that have had the spiritual awakenings are channels, and they're speaking through them. That's why I said to my dad last week, I said the aliens are those that have had the spiritual awakenings. They've already landed. That's the people that have had the awakenings. They're basically talking for them. When you listen to channelers, they say the exactly same information. So, but these beings are not really beings, because everything, like I say, it's not separate. Everything comes from one source, meaning all the beings are one being. All souls are one soul. You see? But it just forms like a matrix, an illusion, a holographic illusion of separation. But the separation can be enjoyed for the experience. But the deeper truth is that we're actually all one. But the separation is there because separation allows us to have a great experience, you know? But I'm just going to leave it there. For latest updates, talks, news, research, songs and poems and much, much more, please do visit my website at www.lovelightfamily.com. Thank you.